Hey there, thanks for tuning in again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the zoOZ ZEN25 S2 Double Plug. The ZEN25 is a Z-Wave double plug. Not only does it allow you to automate turning on and off devices, it also has a built-in energy monitor, and depending on the power consumption of the devices that are connected, the LEDs will rotate through different colors. And we'll go through that in the demo later on. It also serves as a Z-Wave repeater to extend your mesh network throughout your house. And in terms of hub compatibility, it's compatible with Home Assistant, HomeSeer, smartthings, Vera, and Wink. And in my demo later on, we're going to be hooking it up to smartthings. Now let's go ahead and open up this box and take a look at the double plug. On the front of the plug, we have our USB charger, as well as the Z-Wave button, which we can use to manually turn on or off the outlets. The outlets are located on the sides of the plug, keeping the front of the device clutter-free, which should make this easier to tuck behind furniture, as you won't have the cables protruding from the front. Just under the foam padding, we have a user manual which goes through the do's and don'ts and how to set up the unit, as well as common troubleshooting techniques. As per the documentation, you're going to have to be mindful of the items you plug into this, as it only takes a 10 amp load. And that being said, you don't want to plug in heavy load items like washers and dryers, space heaters, or fans. Now let's plug it in and run through the setup and see it in action. The first thing we'll do is plug it into our wall outlet, and once it's plugged in for the very first time, it's going to go into our pairing mode, which is represented by these blue flashing lights. Next, you'll head over to your SmartThings app and add the device by choosing Device and then Scan. Once double plug is added, the flashing lights will stop and become a solid blue, and then it'll be represented by two individual plugs in the SmartThings app. From here, you could choose to rename them, or if you go back to your main page, you can rename them from there. Now that I've renamed each outlet, I'm going to go ahead and test the left plug as well as the right plug. To manually control the outlet, use the Z-Wave button located on the front of the unit. Pressing it once will turn on or off the left outlet, and twice the right outlet. Holding the button for 5 seconds will control both outlets at the same time. If you wanted to confirm that your double plug is in range of your hub, hold down the Z-Wave button for 6 to 8 seconds to determine the signal strength. It'll be represented by the color codes on the side LEDs. Now I'm going to be plugging in a printer into the left outlet and turning it on. This will allow us to see the different levels of wattage that it goes through. Now I'm going to head back into the app so we can take a look at the smart plug settings. The first thing I'm going to do is scroll down to the very bottom and go to my YouTube softbox right, and I'm going to click on it. At the top we have our on and off toggle, and just below that we have our timer toggle. So if we were to click on that, we have the option of turning on or off the power after a certain period of time. Now just below there we have our power on and power off schedules, where we can set particular days and times to turn on or off our devices. Below is the power meter, which tells you the real-time power consumption of the plugged-in source, and below that is energy consumption. Now during my testing, I did try doing custom device handlers as suggested by the zoOZ documentation, and I find it did provide quite a bit of detail when it came to the power consumption. I was able to see the power watts instantly, voltage, and the current amps, but the trade-off to that was I was only able to view that information in the SmartThings Classic app. And when I flipped over to the new app, still using the custom handlers, I did find that there was a bit of a lag in terms of updating the on and off toggle statuses. And there you have it, the zoOZ ZEN25 Double Plug. It's one of the best looking smart plugs I've encountered, with a great form factor that doesn't block or limit you from adding additional plugs above it or below it. And for additional information, check out the description down below, and I'll have links to setting up the device handlers in smartthings, as well as where you can pick up one of these devices. And as usual, if you have any questions, drop them down below, and I'll see you on the next one.